Alright, yeah, and flip that over to that. Now, it'll take a sec because it has to upload the first couple bits to it. Because...
Where are we doing?
Right about... Now, a second here. Yep, there we go. Exit stream mode. There's us. So we're on like a 5-6 second delay.
Fair enough.
Anyway, give you... Also, we probably won't be able to see if anybody's watching because there's supposed to be a little red icon in the corner there and it never fucking works.
Seems good.
Well, did I say we get started? Hello, everybody! Clear the table, stuff your decks, and roll for initiative. I'm Dual Demon, and joining me today is my roommate Adam.
Hello.
We're doing MTG Cube, Vintage Cube.
So basically, the game plan is take all of the most busted possible cards, slam them into one pile, and win forever.
Sounds like a game plan.
That's what we're hoping for.
All right, let's get rolling on this then. As for this, Adam will be at the controls because I suck at this. Both he and I play lots of Magic. I just suck at the PC version.
And now you see the real trial of Magic Online, and that is waiting for the cue.
Most of the people that watch are used to it because sometimes...
Okay, here we go. Right into it.
Alright, so what do we got for first?
I don't need that. Hey, look.
Force of Will out the gate.
So, Force of Will is great depending on if we're going to play any kind of blue deck whatsoever.
Oh, but we also...
Memory Jar is incredible.
There's also an Ancient Tomb there.
Ancient Tomb is great if we want to play Big Brown. There's also Cabal Ritual.
There's a Turbogoyf.
There are a lot of Storm cards in this pack.
What do we want to go with?
So there are two separate Storm cards in this pack. Avalanche Riders is great for mono red. Firebolt's okay for mono red. Balance is also great for the Big Brown deck where you're playing all the big fat artifact creatures. I'm inclined to blue, so my inclination is to take Force of Will.
I think that'd be a good start for this.
I'm a little scared because there's no other real support in the pack. I'm going to turn off this preview. I'm sorry, everyone. I think we're just going to take Force of Will here. It just seems the safest pick, and then we'll go from there. Look.
So we got Mox Diamond. We got a sword.
Yeah.
Inquisition.
The big cards that we're interested in here are Mystical Tutor, Tendrils of Agony, Deceiver, Exarch, Electrolyze. So Mystical Tutor and Tendrils of Agony and Pyretic Ritual, of course, are all Storm cards. Then Inquisition of Kozilek is actually can be part of the Reanimator deck. Deceiver, Exarch, and Electrolyze fit into most blue strategies. Electrolyze obviously forcing you into red, but Deceiver, Exarch puts you into the Splinter Twin deck. There's also Woodfall Primus, which is amazing if you decide to play the big green stuff deck. And then Chandra Flamecolor, which is fairly reasonable for mono red.
So where do we want to go with this?
So the question is, do we want to try to push ourselves into Storm, or do we want to leave ourselves open? Because we can always take Tendrils or Pyretic Ritual if we want to go into Storm directly. However, much safer picks are things like Deceiver, Exarch, Electrolyze, or Mystical Tutor. Mystical Tutor still leaving us the option for Storm, which I think is the safest pick here.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of Storm cards, so I think that
we hurry up and
just our pick.
Yeah. Yeah, keep on.
Guys, just saying Brainstorm.
There, we have Brainstorm or Delver.
So, obviously, Brainstorm is pretty great. Delver is actually only great in the blue-red tempo aggro build. Kind of the same place you want to
also talked
about Lion's Eye Diamond is fantastic if we do want to play Storm. But Lion's Eye Diamond is really only good in Storm. Darkslick Shores allows us, it gives us mana fixing if we want to try to splash some black. It also puts us into the option of Reanimator, which is why you would splash black, or a control build. That's kind of a thing for Reanimator. And then we have things like Geist, which are cool little like tempo threats. These would be great alongside Delver, but it's unlikely we wheel both. So, like, my first picks here are Brainstorm, Treachery, Darkslick Shores.
Because, I mean, we've already got Mystical Tutor and Force of Will. I think it might be a fine idea just to go down the blue route.
For sure, for sure. The only argument to Darkslick Shores is it does let us into another color if we want it, but I don't think we're at that point where we need to worry about it yet. Thing in the air. This is an easy pick. Most of the cards are non-blue. Shield would be great if we were already pushing into Reanimator, but we're really not. Sea Chrome Coast would be great if we do see that Geist of St. Traft again. But realistically, Thing in the Ice is going to fit into any blue deck. It's going to be great if you're casting counter spells or rituals. No matter what you're doing, Thing in the Ice is going to be great in a blue deck in this cube. So I think that's just the easy pick. All right.
So we have Eureka.
Workshop, which would put us into Big Brown. Eureka is for the cheat stuff into play deck. Living Death. Honestly, I think the easy pick here is the Marsh Flats. Just again, it gives us the option to go into other colors. If we find an Underground Sea or something like that, it's an easy way to fetch that. It gives us options. I don't think we're ever going to be in a green deck, so playing Windswept Heath, it would realistically just be fetch target Tundra or the like.
Would Chartless do us any favors with the Cascade?
Not particularly, because the thing is, you don't want to be cascading into Mystical Tutor or Thing in the Ice randomly. You kind of want to be able to use those. Chartless is great if we were playing some sort of value deck, but at this point, I think we're kind of in the control combo plan.
Alright.
So I think Marsh Flats is the pick here.
There's a
Yawgmoth's Will, kids.
I mean, there's... yeah.
So this pack has nothing else for Storm, but we've already passed some of the pieces for Storm. However, Yawgmoth's Will, you can just play for value. Is it good playing it for value? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But sometimes you need to brainstorm. Twice. Karakas is interesting. It is a direct hoser for the Reanimator deck most of the time. There's also an argument for Tasker of the Golden Fang here. Tasker lets us play this kind of control Reanimator grindy route, which I think is the most interesting at this point. I think I'm just going to say take Tasker, and we're going to kind of hedge towards this this kind of control route. There is a Scrubland, which we can definitely fetch off of this Marsh Flats and lets us splash red or white or black. There would be a Rite of Flame again if we were going into Storm. I think we kind of have let that ship sail. Hero's Downfall is great removal. That would be an interesting concept that we could consider if we were harder in black at this moment, but I don't even know if we're guaranteed playing Tasker. But Scrubland lets us kind of splash around as we see fit, and I think that that's a safe bet, especially already with the Marsh Flats. So I think he'll take Scrubland there. Gideon Jura, there's a Plateau. Land Tax is really only good in the mono white deck. Yeah, and here's where we see kind of things start to dry up. I think I'm going to take Gideon Jura, because of all of these cards, Gideon is the one that I think we're most likely to play. I don't really see us playing Land Tax. That's more of a way to get ahead in creature decks. Flicker was, again, graded creature heavy decks, but we're playing a bunch of spells. We've already built Force of Will. Gideon can just be a control card, and I think that's fine. But I think that right now he just gets moved to the side. There's a Godless Shrine, which again gives us another white-black duel. I do see a Cabal Ritual here, which still does give us the option for Storm. So I'm going to move these to the side right now. I think, there's an argument here to just take the Cabal Ritual. Also, Legion's Landing it is an interesting thing if we kind of end up in some sort of like opposition-style control deck. Landing Shrine or Cabal Ritual?
I say Cabal.
Take Ritual
because that gives us that gives us the option to like.
There's the Pyretic Ritual.
Yeah, so that we can kind of we can possibly wander back into Storm.
It's very possible. Now none of these are Storm cards.
Delver because blue cards.
Delver Secrets because we can just kind of.
Yeah, because we're gonna be playing. Yeah, if we get to Storm, we're just gonna be playing a ton of instants and sorceries to begin with.
I think the only card here we actually care about at all is Vindicate. It's not that we're actually playing it, but
Living Death.
I guess we take Living Death as a potential Wrath.
Yeah.
Fire Blast because we lose to Mono Red.
Yeah, like that at this point, it's like what cards. I mean, yeah. It's at that point.
Yeah, we came to a point there where it was.
What cards don't we want to pass?
So I'm gonna stretch this out just a touch here. Sorry, chat. But we're gonna see if this whole Storm thing pays out. Because right now we do have some options for these kind of control deck. So Consecrated Sphinx is great in the control deck. Factor Fiction also great in all sorts of things. Sun Titan's a great control finisher. Necromancy gives us some cool reanimator options.
The Fled Strain lets us fetch both of the lands we've taken so far as well.
The Scrubland, yeah.
And it does let us fetch our other color.
So yeah, like that's a really safe pick. We do have Necromancy if we want to try to go the Reanimator route, which so far we have next to nothing for, but the Reanimator deck is a control deck and we can pick up, there's all sorts of threats right here to do that.
What was Tide Hallow Sculler for? I forget.
Tide Hallow Sculler is really for the kind of white-black hate bearsy style strategy. It's okay. I don't think it's one of the more powerful archetypes, but it's gonna, that deck still wants Soldier of the Pantheon, and that deck is gonna play things like Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. I think we just take the Flooded Strand here and make sure we have good mana for whatever we decide to do. There is our Underground Sea.
Ooh.
So now we can actually just be 3-color with no drawback because we have 2 fetch lands and 2 dual lands. I think we just take this here. Grim Tutor is another interesting one if we want to try to go that Storm plan.
Yeah. And there's the other one.
Emerald of the Aeon's Torn. Shallow Grave is super interesting. Show and Tell.
Yeah,
if we decide we want to put.
Yeah,
there's some really interesting things here. Necropotence is pretty interesting if we decide to play black. Lingering Souls is just good. So there are some interesting cards here. I think I really like the idea of Show and Tell, but we haven't picked up anything for it at this point.
Yeah, but I mean,
but I don't see that we picked up, like, Emerald of the Aeon's Torn is sweet, but I don't think at this point we have any means by which to cast Emerald of the Aeon's Torn, and we aren't in green, so Channel's already out. I think we just cut the Show and Tell here, and
yeah,
we'll pick up some Nature of Fatty along the way, I'm sure. So if we're playing this 2 to 3 color control, there's Mind's Desire if we still think we're anywhere near Storm. Maze of It is kind of an interesting card. Remand is a interesting tempo control card. Godfarrow's Gift is another reanimator card. It's definitely not the best way to reanimate your creatures, but getting a 4/4 Grizzlebrand with haste, still generally just good enough.
Yeah.
I think here I'm of the mind to take Remand.
Just because we are in blue already.
We're in blue, and I don't see anything else here that I really feel the need to. Again, we could take Mind's Desire if we thought we were anywhere near Storm, but I don't think we're anywhere near Storm anymore. We have so few cards to play the Storm deck. Remand does fit into the Storm deck as well. I guess we'll see how it pans out. Either way, the ability to
there's the fatty we were looking for.
We were looking for fatties, and Blightsteel Colossus showed up. There's a Storm Payload. There's an Animate Dead. I think we just take the fatty here.
Yeah, just so we have something to play off of that Show and Tell.
Well, and the thing is that we've seen more as well. Rain Nightmare gives us some reanimation. Tinker gives us another way to put this Blightsteel Colossus into play. Now we just have to start picking up some artifacts.
I mean, as far as artifacts go, you bet your favorite top sitting right there in front of you.
Yeah, Sensei's Divine Top, but seeing that wheel is going to be very hard. Recurring Nightmare is an interesting one because it lets us kind of reuse creatures. Once Delver has outlived his usefulness, we sacrifice Delver to then put Blightsteel Colossus into our hand or whatever if it's been milled away somehow. But I think that the game plan right now should just be Tinker.
And pray we pick up another artifact.
Just as another way to cheat in the Blightsteel Colossus. There are plenty of Signets and things that we can pick up. We could pick up this Phyrexian Revoker, this Kuldotha Forge Master, this Trinket Mage. And I think that Revoker's a fine pick here, especially knowing that we have Tinker. Corpse Dance is another good way to reanimate things. Tap creature card. So we give a Blightsteel Colossus haste. I think that there's definitely some interest to that. So I think we can safely put ourselves into black now. We can play this Living Death. We can play this.
We have the Cabal Ritual as well, and we're playing a lot.
I just want Corpse Stance here. Because it gives us a way to reanimate things.
There's another. That would be a little risky, wouldn't it?
You say you wanted fat things. The thing is, we could definitely play the Progenitus because if we have to pitch it at some point, it does pitch to Force of Will. It is blue.
It's everything.
Dark Petition is mainly just for Storm. So I think the inherent thing, I think we just actually want Progenitus here.
Just so we have another thing to put in.
Another reanimation target. Here's Necromancy.
There's another
Promised End.
I mean,
these are, again, things we can reanimate, things... Yeah, I think that this is definitely going the right way. We take Emrakul the Promised End. We have some reanimation targets. Vidalcan Shackles is a great card that lets us control the game early.
This is mine now. There's nothing you can do about it anymore.
Shallow Grave is another reanimator target, or another reanimation card. Additionally, we could try something like Dark Confidant. There's a Wrath of God. Actually, I think I like Lingering Souls here.
Just because we have white, we could just make a couple tokens while we get there.
And we also have black randomly. So we have the ability to just splash this card almost for free. I don't really want Godfrow's Gift.
What about the
I think I just want to hard cut Maze of It here to keep somebody else from taking it.
Tangle that's...
I don't think we want to reanimate Hazard the Fervent. Tangle Wire seems the most annoying, and maybe
yeah,
that's just something we play.
I'd say Guide. I would say take Guide.
Again, we lose to Mono Red.
Yeah.
Maybe we put Tangle Wire in the main... Yeah, we're definitely not playing Xenagos. So we're shaping it pretty well here. We actually have 17 playables. And 4 lands we're almost guaranteed to run. Plus, all of these cards are... All of the splash cards are basically free. Yeah, we're never casting Progenitus. We do need some ways to cycle to...
there's a Mox. Yep, that just shaped up. Scroll Rack.
Scroll Rack is a really interesting card in a deck like this. Inkwell Leviathan. But, I mean, it's hard to turn down a Mox. The value you get off of like that.
Even though, it's the Mox that we're one of the colors we're in.
Here's all the Storm cards again. Mana Flare, Wheel of Fortune, Duress, Scroll Rack. All of those are for Storm, but I definitely think we just take Mox Sapphire here.
Free mana!
It just also lets us tinker. Here's another...
Watery Grave, Worn Power Stone.
Buried Alive.
That
is a way that we enable this graveyard strategy, ladies and gentlemen. We Buried Alive. So I think that's our game plan. We just take the Buried Alive here. There's a world in which we don't really want to play this Lingering Souls. We also don't have a really good control game, so I'm kind of glad we have that Tangle Wire. We can just resolve this Tangle Wire, let it happen.
Just watch our opponents get locked down turret
just
after...
hope we can lock them out for a while, and then...
No matter,
Go to discard step, discard this fat thing, next turn reanimate it. Those are some real options. Buried Alive is definitely helping the reanimation plan. Living Death is a really interesting wrath if we're trying to put things in the bin, because we wrath our opponent and we just reanimate all of our fatties in one go. Show and Tell is a cool hedge considering we don't have many reanimation spells just yet. Bitter Blossom Braids. Entomb is another way to put things into our bin. Supreme Verdict is another sweeper. But I don't think we're in incredible control back at this point. Strip Mine just to be hateful. I mean, I think I want Entomb here. Just because that way, once we do have the... It's very possible we can still pick up ways to reanimate things. We do have the Living Death. So there are ways that we can still just become this reanimator deck. We don't have a whole lot of draw power yet, but we do have Mystical Tutor, we do have Brainstorm. So I would be interested. As speaking of draw power,
that's
Grizzlebrand. Yeah, I think that this is the safest pick here. Grizzlebrand is the draw power. He's the fatty we want. Elishnorn is an incredible option as well. Kozilek is interesting if we would have taken the Shallow Grave, because you can actually, for those of you who don't play a ton of older Magic formats, in response to the Shuffle trigger from the old Eldrazi Titans, you can actually use instant speed reanimation to bring them back. We're just going to take the Grizzlebrand. Painful Truth is some more card filtering, which seems good. I don't think we want an Elspeth Knight Errant. We're just not in that whole boat anymore. Dig Through Time is very interesting. We are 3-color. That's just draw 3 cards. I don't think we're going to set up Delve very well. We don't have a bunch of cheap interaction like we would want for that. So I think Painful Truth is the card we actually want here.
Because we're not hard control anymore. Rashad Port doesn't do us a ton of good.
No, and then, again, that's really for like the kind of Hate Bears decks. What else do we have here? Kolaghan's Command, Toxic Deluge, Fiend Hunter.
Sorcerer Spyglass is interesting.
Spyglass lets us shut off opposing people's sneak attacks and things. It's a hate card. I'm not a super huge fan of taking those.
Deluge helps us against quick aggro decks.
Deluge is definitely a pretty interesting pick here.
I mean, that's what you use in Legacy Tron to get to kind of put down things like elves and that.
Slayer, Angel, Wasteland, Makeshift Mannequin. Makeshift Mannequin is another way to reanimate creatures. It's definitely not the one we want, but I think it's doable. We definitely could have passed some speaking of optimal ways to reanimate
just
creatures.
actual straight reanimate.
Just reanimate. And then we definitely want to play that. We're definitely gonna have to make some cuts here. I see. I think the Tinker plan is not amazing. I think we're more of Reanimator. Scroll Rack, you say? I may indeed be interested in some Scroll Rack. This is interesting because we don't have a lot of card filtering, and Scroll Rack is a way that lets us just deal with garbage hands.
Yeah, it's like a big brother to top in a way.
Magus of the Will, one Power Stone. I don't think we really want any of this, so I think what we're actually going to do here is just hard cut this Eidolon and the
because
Great
we
Rebel.
still die to red.
I mean, we've cut a lot of the mono red good cards here. Unfortunately, this is a league, which here's sacrifice an artifact, creature, or land. I mean, we can technically cast Supreme Verdict, so I think that we can just take that, put it in the sideboard, and hope for the best. Grimag Angler actually is just actively playable in this deck. Mirren Crusader, because we lose to cards like that. Fiend Hunter's pretty bad for us.
And then we get an elf piece.
So, Supreme Verdict is something we can cast, and if we find ourselves in a world where we're actually ready to, like, we're going to lose to somebody's board state. So I think, what are we cutting here? I think Force is actually not amazing in this list.
Yeah, because we only got one.
We don't have very many blue cards at all.
Yeah, we have like 7 cards we can pitch to it.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8. Not that I.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Progenitus.
Tinker.
Yeah.
So we want to get this down. We want to make like 4 cuts. I think we definitely. Remand is like the worst possible counterspell here. We can move Toxic Deluge to the side. We don't actually need that in the main. Tassiger is actually a way to enable our reanimation, right? We can use Tassiger to self-mill and then get the cards back with Tassiger that we need to reanimate the cards we just put into our bin. So that's a pretty interesting combination. Lingering Souls we can probably cut. I don't want to push that hard into something like that. It's an interesting tool to have, but I don't think we need it. Nala's not a great reanimator target, but keep the Mox, Scroll Rack. Probably just cut Tangle Wire. Vidalcan Shackles is really interesting. We're not super heavy blue at this point, but we are going to be playing this Underground Sea, and I feel like we're going to play some number of islands, so we can just steal their things, even if just to stop them. I think we cut Living Death. I don't think we need a bunch of sweepers in the main. We're not a hard control deck.
Yeah, we're just we want to get this from either our hand or the graveyard onto the battlefield as quickly as possible. Just catch.
So then we have this Flooded Strand, this Marsh Flats, this Scrubland, this Underground Sea. We have the ability to splash this Verdict if we really want it, which I don't think we do. We have the ability to splash this Vindicate pretty easily if we really want it. Which again, these are all changes we can make post board. I think right now, I think we keep the Force of Will here. I wish we picked up a couple other draw spells. That was probably a mistake.
Yeah.
But so then we look at this. I don't want any red for anything. We're not casting Progenitus ever for any reason. So we took out 3. I think we want 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that seems correct, because most of our setup cards are blue. The Mystical Tutor, the Delver, the Brainstorms, the Remand, the Show and Tell, Force. All of these cards are blue, not that we actually want to hard cast Force Will ever. I think this is where we're at.
There are worlds you have to do it.
Yeah, and I think this is what we were going to play.
We have made Blue-Black Reanimator.
Sometimes you go in wanting to play Storm or some sort of value deck and just decide to get degenerate with people. It's a thing that happens. So now we can play. And we're waiting for our opponent here in game 1. Hoping that this pile doesn't just instantly result in losses.
Well, I mean, there was an Aeon's Torn passed around the table, and that probably, like, we've got most of the pieces for it. Because there's a one.
The thing about it being the Emerald in a league, it doesn't matter. You don't play against the people that you drafted with, so it's more like, did you draft a good deck? And I think our deck is actively okay.
Yeah.
But okay then. I would indeed like to play first. What does this hand do? This hand does nothing. We have to pitch this back.
All right.
Oh wow. Oh wow. I think we pitched this too, unfortunately.
All right.
Yeah,
I think that
I think a turn 1 thing in the ice is about as good as we get, kids.
Let's do it.
So we keep this. We scry this. I think we just have to keep lands at this point, unfortunately.
Because what are we looking at?
So
like,
we want to turn 1 Mox Sapphire Island thing in the ice and say go.
No, I'm directly not familiar. So it's every time you cast an instant or sorcery, it takes a counter off.
Correct. Every time you cast an instant or sorcery, it takes a time counter off it, or an ice counter off it, and then it flips into the Awoken Horror, which is a 7/8. That's when it enters the battlefield. It bounces all non-horror creatures. So this is some sort of kind of mid-rangey. I mean, we could. I think at this point we just do it because it puts a counter on Thing in the Ice.
Yeah, and
we're gonna always yield to this trigger because there's never a time we don't want to take a counter off Thing in the Ice.
And we just turn around and just top deck a reanimation spell too.
Well, so that's the inherent issue is that we can't because we did have to exile that Progenitus.
Oh.
But I think that's inherently not a huge issue. We're not under any real pressure at this point in time.
Yeah, he hasn't presented anything.
So here's this.
So we're beyond we have all the mana we could theoretically need.
And he is stuck by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So we want to crack this actually, and we're gonna grab the Underground Sea just to thin our deck out a little bit. Oh, he had to throw away a Vendilion Click.
Ooh.
Oh, and then we have another land. Well, I mean, the good news here is that once we draw anything at all,
we're good.
It'll be very, very difficult for this. So this is a new card from Ixalan, and when it enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land from it. Exile it.
He gets no. Yeah, he got no value off of it.
Got absolutely no value. Our hand is actually empty.
And there's Remand.
So, and the great thing is here that this is where we kind of start a chain, because the next thing he casts, we just Remand by default.
Rip another counter off a thing.
We draw another card.
Yeah, I think that might be something worthwhile.
You know, actually, we let this one slide.
Oh yeah, get what comes after it.
Because that card doesn't inherently do anything to us. It's what he casts off it that's a problem. Yeah, we'll counter your Mana Rock. You can try for that again.
And cat.
And
do we just do it?
Oh, absolutely. If okay.
It's tinker time, boys and girls.
So this is in his turn, so we're gonna untap.
And
then we found Buried Alive too.
So we have.
You don't say. So we're going to tap this, these two swamps, and we're going to tinker away our Mox, and we're going to put a Blightsteel Colossus into play.
Yay!
And then I think at this point we actually
just buried alive just to flip it and just...
No, because I don't think that is not a horror. So what we want to do here is we want to just say go here, and let him take some damage from his Mana Crypt, and we're going to see what happens with this Blightsteel Colossus.
Because at the moment he is just dead. Well, no, he would live through one, because he can block... Yeah, he can block
Yeah,
two.
he would have to block it, and I don't think that's really a world he wants to be in. I do have this Blightsteel Colossus, sir. How do you feel about combat right now?
It's probably bad.
I really hope that you feel comfortable enough to attack. No? Okay. Well, we tried, ladies and gentlemen.
There's the Entomb, so now we have both
so
of our...
we have lots of ways to put things into the bin.
Here, 11 Infexor. How does that feel?
And there's a world in which what we do is when he tries to deal with this Blightsteel Colossus or do anything, we can just Entomb to flip thing in the ice. We'll put the Blightsteel back in our hand, but we do then just get this 7/8 to beat in with,
and
which is generally just going to be good enough.
And we can just find another way to get Blightsteel in later.
Yeah. There's still a Show and Tell in our deck someplace, and he's still taking damage this whole way along. Or has the potential to take damage from his Mana Crypt, which he did.
Thy live by the crypt, thy die by the crypt. Found that out from Highlander.
Okay. So this is blue. This is Ashiok? Living Death, you say? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast this Entomb now.
So it'll flip your...
Because what's gonna happen is he wants to reanimate these things, and I don't want to let him do that. And if we're gonna reanimate things, I want to win this fight. So
oh yeah, both sides reanimate, don't they?
Yes, Living Death does let us both reanimate. So I want to Entomb, probably this Emrakul the Promised End. I think is our big one here. Yeah, I think we just want this Emrakul in the bin.
So like, sure. What do you got?
Well, he has a Vendilion Click,
and
which is not nothing. But he doesn't really have any good answers to what's going on right now. So we're gonna reanimate this Emrakul the Promised End.
Aye.
And he's gonna reanimate this Vendilion Click and this Kitesail Freebooter. Which, I mean, he's gonna take a lot of damage. So he's gonna Kitesail Freebooter away this Buried Alive, and then he's going to Vendilion Click away this Blightsteel Colossus, I would imagine. Sure. Unless, click targeted... Oh, you targeted yourself, you say.
Ooh.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, we do have the out here where we can draw. We can just swing in with Emrakul, do a bunch of damage, and then, like, hopefully we draw into Show and Tell.
It's just... or fish.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, absolutely.
I will take a fish.
We're gonna crash in with this Emrakul first. There's just no reason not to. Crashing with this 13/13.
How are you doing today?
So I was worried that maybe this deck wasn't good enough. I might have been a little preemptive with that. It might have been preemptive to think that this wasn't going to function.
And he double blocks as
absolutely
we want.
Perfect. That's everything I hope for.
Spaghetti nom noms.
So yeah, I want. Can we kill that one first?
You want your Buried Alive back.
Yeah, I would like that back actually, as it turns out.
I'd like it back, and I'd like it now.
The great thing here too is that we haven't used any of our own reanimation.
And he's used a couple.
So actually, we can. So I think what we do first is we put this Grimegg on the stack. We want to exile this Force Will. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this black.
Here is Big Fish.
So we have this Gurmagangler. And then I think we want to just Buried Alive and put I guess we just want to put all three of these creatures in the bin, because what that does is it evens up our chances that we can then later find the reanimation spell.
Yeah, and just like
And
here's
then
Grizzy,
just reanimate the Grizzlebrands.
yeah, here's
and
all these
start
fun-
going to town. So, and the reality of this, our opponent is dead on board at this point. Could they have something? Absolutely, they certainly could.
They do have a lot of mana potential.
Yeah, they do have quite a bit of mana here. They didn't take damage their mana crypt that I saw.
Yeah, they won the flip.
So, I mean, that's hooray. They're living a little longer here, but I think they're in a pretty rough world right now.
What do we got?
What is this?
Duplicate.
This is duplicate, you say? Okay.
Oh.
This is duplicate copying our Emrakul Promised End. Okay. That's a thing that happens.
But it does not fly though, which
No,
is
he just has this random 13/13.
because duplicate's just a removal spell sometimes. Oh.
But that doesn't do anything for us here because we don't have enough islands. Okay.
Fair. So,
I think at this point we just leave it in our hand and we pass the turn.
And we just wait. Yeah, we just wait for him. If he tries to hit us, we hit him back. We win.
Yeah, definitely. So knowing that he has duplicate too, I definitely think we want to bring in this Vindicate.
Just to go whop.
Yeah, because the reality of it is like these are cards that get us because we are playing all these. Because we're playing things like Grizzlebrand and Emrakul and Blightsteel Colossus. Like Duplicant is a card that just gets us. So having that Vindicate to be like, yeah, okay, cool, you got mine and I got yours and we're all good now. That's where we want to be, I think. I don't know whether I like bringing in our own living death here.
Because he is playing a bit of the
because
reanimate.
it seems like I don't know if he's reanimating for value, possibly. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop you from impulsing, sir. I don't know if he's reanimating for value or if he's actually got the larger threats in his deck. We haven't seen anything to give the impression that he's trying to.
Oh,
Liliana of the Veil. You say.
That's a problem.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's something we
That
didn't
kind of
expect.
Well,
Liliana of the Veil is a pretty good one to have right there. All right. So we do have outs. Basic Island was not one of them.
No.
Basic Island was indeed not one of them. So we lose here.
Yeah, because we just can't resolve anything anymore.
We lose here. Now, what do I not? I like having Force of Will. Vidalcan Shackle seems like it's actually probably pretty bad. So let's bring in this Vindicate. Toxic Deluge actually feels kind of interesting in this matchup. Just for the simple fact that he's playing a bunch of little creatures as well.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a world in which we could definitely play this Toxic Deluge. Buried Alive. So yeah, we did have Corpse Dance yet. Painful Truths. I think we do want to cut this for this Deluge. It seems so. Bringing in the Living Death seems very, very dangerous. Just because he has showed us that he's playing some sort of. Wow. I think we just keep this though.
Yeah. 3 lands, a cantrip, and Tinker?
Yeah,
Can we please
there's
top...
a lot of ways in which this goes right for us.
Can we top deck a Mox, please, and just have all the fun?
Yeah, if we find exactly Mox Sapphire, we're in business, kids.
Brainstorm.
We did not find Mox Sapphire, so we want to put back...
We did find our Entomb, though, so that is a start.
What I do want to put back is... We're going to draw one of these. Put back those 2 cards. In that order. And then we say go. Draw this Grizzlebrand. Because the thing is, I don't think what we want to actually be doing in this matchup is getting too aggressive.
Yeah, because then he just... There's every
So
possibility.
your end step, I want to entomb this Emrakul that we know is on top of our library. So that we're going to shuffle anyways. Alright, we have this Buried Alive.
That's more things in the bin.
The problem I have is that we have this Grizzlebrand in our and the Tinker in our hand. I think we just do it though, because the thing is that even if this becomes an inherent issue, days you say?
Oh.
Okay. No,
Yep.
I don't even want to pay one for that days. Because what I'm going to do is actually delve away Brainstorm, Entomb, and Buried Alive next turn, and I'm going to put Tassiger into play.
Oh, that's right. Tasker has Delve stapled to it.
Absolutely. So what this is going to give us the opportunity to do, and hopefully he decides to tap out for some things here. He does not. So that's not as good for us, but...
But, I mean, we just gotta try, right?
yeah, I think that we lose if we don't. 2, 3, 4, 5, miss.
Here be Tassigar.
Okay.
Oh, he's impulsing.
That's fine. I'm okay with you impulsing.
He hasn't shown us any other counter magic yet, though. Like, what could he have?
At this point, like, his best hope is something like Spell Pierce. I'm sorry, Spell Pierce does not work here.
No.
Ignore me. Yeah, I don't know that he has an answer here. I think that this Tassiger just happens and he feels bad.
He's just like, can I find anything? Nope. Oh well.
So we have made a Tassiger with the Golden Fang.
And we can start
I don't know
using...
if we keep having a Tassiger with the Golden Fang, but we have indeed made a Tassiger with the Golden Fang. He's gonna pass.
Alright, what do we got?
We find another island, which is fine. So we're gonna beat in with Tassiger. And then in his turn, we can put target, return an online card of an opponent's choice from your graveyard to your hand.
I mean, all we have, all we have is Emrakul.
Well, we did forget to attack. No, but it mills 2 first.
Ah, mills us or them?
Ourselves.
Ah, fair enough. Chromox.
Chromox, you say?
What non-land are you gonna put under it?
I think we might be seeing why our opponent struggled so much in the early turns of the last game is because it looks like
What do
he
you
puts repeal.
Interesting.
What are you casting here? Vraska Relic Seeker.
Interesting.
I have a feeling this Vraska Relic Seeker is coming for our Tassiger the Golden Fang, so when he activates this, we're going to activate Tassiger in response.
Yep, there it goes.
Yeah, so we want to activate Tassiger in response. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's the dream, kids. We found 2 reanimation spells.
On the mill. Oh well.
So the only other thing he can give us is Emrakul. Which is probably what he does, yeah. And he blows up our Tassiger the Golden Fang, which is fine. But
We're down 2 of our
the
animation
reality
spells.
is, we can still be alright here. So we're gonna do is play this thing in the ice.
Here's my thing.
So you have an option, sir. You can blow up our thing in the ice and lose your Vraska, or give us the opportunity to start doing things with that.
Him.
Oh, this could end very, very well for us. That ended okay for us. Grizzlebrand is not the perfect card we want to see left in our hand.
Relic Seeker makes the pirate.
Yep, Vraska makes a token, which is inherently fine. That's not something we're super scared of. The pressure at this point has been very, very light.
Oh.
Leovold Emissary.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
That's a pretty silly magic card. So what we want to start doing here is just.
Question is, what do we draw?
We draw an island. So that doesn't really do a whole lot. We do just block Leovold all day long. We're 1 mana off of just actually casting
here is
Grizzlebrand.
Grizzlebrand. What you got?
And that's the thing our opponent actually needs to be scared of, is just us making a Grizzlebrand.
Oh.
Ashiok Nightmare Weaver.
Oh, so someone played the Super Friends deck, it
Yeah,
seems.
somebody decided that Bug midrange was a pretty cool idea. Exile the top 3 opponents a target. Okay, so what is our exile zone? I don't think he hit anything.
No, he hit a Brainstorm. I think is the only relevant card he hit.
Nope, I think we exiled that, actually. So he's going to blow this up. And then he's going to get in for 5, which is fine. He hit 2 lands, and I think they're buried alive. So we're going to take 5 here, which is fine.
So.
Oh, he did get a Progenitus. I missed that
Oh,
one. That's important.
Fudge. Welp.
Well, but he's pretty far off of actually doing that to us. Scrubland, you say?
That sounds like it's time to hard cast Grizzlebrand.
That's what we signed up for, kids.
Here you go.
Oh, undo.
Huh?
I need to tap that Scrubland for black.
Oh. Yeah, the correct mana color would probably be right.
Correct. We definitely need
Here be Grizzlebrand.
So if this is mana drain here, we actually just die. If this is mana drain, we are so unreasonably dead.
Pitches the treasure.
This is Force of Will. Okay.
Well, we still just.
That was an interesting line. Crack the treasure, cast Force of Will. I still feel like we can survive this.
Well, yeah, because most of that stuff's in the bin, and we still have a few reanimation spells.
What else did you get back? In our exile zone, Mox, Remand, Marsh Flats. Okay.
Okay, that's not miserable.
We're making another 2/2.
Here be pirates.
So now that I'm looking at this again, he was absolutely a value. He was using that living death.
Yeah,
for value. And we would have been safe to bring ours in here. In fact, we probably should have. But
and another land.
yeah, I think we're just dead.
That's GG.
Well, we tried. So that's game 1. Our match 1. I apologize. And I think we'll just go straight into match 2. Moto permitting.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. It's just like, here are some of the dumbest planeswalkers.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just play the value deck, man. Sometimes you just play the value deck. Okay. Yeah. Nope. This is a pile of magic.
What we got?
We have Delver of Secrets, Entomb, Underground Sea, Island, Thing in the Ice, Mock Sapphire, Mystical Tutor, which seems
A bunch of ones
perfect.
and twos and 2 potential mana turn 1.
So basically, the only thing we don't want to see here is just Thoughtseize turn 1.
Now, what's with the silver Kaladesh frame, out of curiosity?
I'm sorry, which?
On our opponent, his portrait.
You know, I'm actually not sure. That's the first time I've seen that. We will play this Mock Sapphire and this Swamp, and we're gonna just make this Thing in the Ice and say go.
Thing?
So next turn, our game plan is Island, Delver of Secrets, go, and then
Pray the Delver flips.
well, we're not actually super worried about it, to be honest with you. So, wow, you're not really what we wanted to see here at all. So we just play this Delver Secrets, and then we're gonna say go, because what we're gonna do is in our opponent's turn, we're going to cast. Actually, we might even do the Entomb during our turn, if they tap out here for something like an Impulse, which they did not. So this is some sort of control deck. At least that's how it feels at the moment. Oh, okay, this is opposition. So what we're going to do here is... Yeah, he goes to combat. So we want to try to make this Entomb happen. And we always want to yield to this Thing in the Ice trigger, and we want to see what he does about this Entomb. Oh, he's just going to let us have it.
Hey, you may have your Entomb,
Okay,
sir.
so I think we want to Entomb... Okay. Now this is where the question is interesting, kids. I think we just want to Entomb Blightsteel. And then still in his end step, we want to cast Mystical Tutor.
And we just go find our reanimation.
Yeah, and he's going to let this resolve, even.
What is going on here?
So I think we want... 1, 2, 3... We can't buy it back, but I think we want Corpse Dance, and we just kill him on the spot.
Do it!
This seems like what we want to be doing here.
My guys' corpse will dance on your corpse!
So, regardless, we're getting this Delver flipped.
Yeah, and we're gonna take one more counter
You
off
know
of...
what's there. You know you're dead. So I'm going to play this Underground Sea, and we're going to have a Corpse Dance. Undo. I did not want to cast that with buyback, kids. I've never wanted to cast that with buyback.
I mean, there's probably a world where you could do it, but this is not it.
You're just going to let me have it, you say?
Did we miss something?
Yeah, it looks like...
Oh. I'm confused. What has happened?
That should have worked.
Right.
Top creature card of your graveyard to the battlefield. Gains haste until end of turn. Exile.
What has been missed here?
Apparently our opponent... There's only one... bin. Okay. Well, that's definitely a bug. Ah.
Oh, that's right.
We picked the wrong target. Okay, that's on us.
It's. I was actually gonna suggest Progenitus in that. It's like.
My bad.
Whoops.
Well, we may have just lost the game for ourselves, kids.
Not yet. We can turn around. There can be show and tell that comes up.
We definitely have Emrakul the Promised End in our hand.
Because isn't
1, 2, 3.
Well, because isn't insect aberration a horror?
Human insect.
Never mind. But Delver going back to our hand's not a big deal. That just completely forgot that Blightsteel has a Shuffle Clause stapled to him. Honorary Eldrazi Eldrazi Titan.
Yeah. Forgot about the Shuffle Clause. Don't misplay your cards, kids. Don't.
I mean, it happens from time to time.
Don't misplay your cards. Because we did have the potential to reanimate.
Progenitor.
Grizzlebrand there. Grizzlebrand would have been the optimal one.
Yeah.
Because we give Grizzlebrand haste, we draw a bunch of cards, we crash into a bunch of damage. Yep. We
are still sitting one away from. We can hit with if we draw an instant. We can hit with insect, flip thing in the ice, put him back in our hand, play him back out, and just say go.
I know we certainly can.
Especially if that next.
We're also like if we start casting some more spells, we can just cast Emrakul the Promised End. Because Emrakul the Promised. I'm sorry.
What are we at?
Instant. Never mind. I need to remember how to read cards. Moral of the story, kids: read the cards.
You're the one normally giving me crap about that.
Yes, I usually am, and today I'm punting all over the place. So our opponent, it is in his turn, and he's doing nothing. Turn 4 plays a forest. Okay.
I'm still curious about that Silver Portrait. Now, did he participate in like an official tournament or something?
Not a clue.
Because
He's just gonna pass it to us.
That's
and then we have this Tassiger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so I think we just make this Tassiger here. Actually, I think we swing with Delver Secrets first.
I was gonna say
I would almost insect elaboration, and then we just make this Tassiger.
I would almost wait and see if you can flip thing in the ice first.
You know, I'm not really worried about it.
Well, because if like let's say you draw, I don't think is Brainstorm still in our deck.
Brainstorm is indeed still in our deck.
Yeah, you like so let's say you get Brainstorm, another 1-mana spell. You just add that to the Delve, you flip Insect, and then you play Tassiger.
Well, we're not getting back our reanimation spells anyway, so let's do what we gotta do.
Alright.
Yeah, that was a pretty big punt with the whole Blightsteel thing. That was pretty bad because we should have gotten Grizzlebrand there.
High tide?
You don't say.
Well.
You don't say.
Was it?
I mean, this is
a vintage cube.
The problem with this inherently is that he doesn't know this card in our hand. So it could feasibly be counter magic, which he's now just made live because our Underground Sea is also an island. So I'm kind of confused.
Could he Eureka here?
Plausibly, which is actively bad for him.
Oh yes,
because we do have an.
I'm aware it's bad.
Yeah. When you know your opponent is on Reanimator, do not Eureka against them. Unless you are fully confident that nothing that can come out of their hand can be good enough. In this case, that would be wrong.
Like there's one other, and I don't think he has it.
Plays another forest, which is just not
whatever.
Basically irrelevant.
4.
I wonder if this is just. Are we gonna tap this forest in Eureka?
What do we got?
This might just be Eureka, which I feel like is quite. No, this is Turnabout. So we're actually going for some sort of storm.
It's a
for he chooses to untap his lands, and
so it's high. He's actually going a high tide route. Oh, it's something big, all right. So what is
playing here?
So
if we
7, 8, he has 11 mana. So that sounds like a Titan.
No, I don't know if this is the channel deck. I mean, it's plausible that this
Crax
is...
Lotus.
There's 9.
Tooth and Nail.
Okay. What are we tooth and nailing? What are we tooth and nailing? That's what I'm interested in knowing.
I'm unfamiliar with that card.
He has cast Tooth and Nail, which lets him search his library for up to 2 creatures, reveal them, and put them into his hand, or put 2 creatures from his hand into play. I'm guessing he's putting 2 cards into play. Oh, I'm sorry, he did cast it entwined.
So he gets to do both. So we're getting hit with
1,
something.
2, 3. Yeah.
Prime time?
It could be a number of things. This could be his own Eldrazi Titans.
Could be Inkwell Leviathan, based on his colors.
The thing is that Tooth and Nail decks don't actually care. They're much like Reanimator decks, where they're just like, I'm going to tutor something up and put it into play, and you're going to be dead.
So what are we getting stuck with?
Resolve, man. You got it. Because if I draw Brainstorm, all of your hard work is undone.
That is valid. Or anything for that matter.
And that's the inherent problem, right? Is he's about to Tooth and Nail into a board with a Thing in the Ice with only 1 ice counter on it.
And unless somebody has an ETB blow a thing up trigger, no good.
Which is plausible. He could have one of the Eldrazi Titans or something like that. But that's the thing, is he has to answer the Thing in the Ice instead of an actual threat, like, let's say, Tassinger. So we just see what happens at this point. We just see what happens. Reveals Palinchron and Snapcaster. So no, we're going for more.
Palinchron?
So Palinchron is a creature that functions similarly to the Peregrine Drake and Cloud of Fairies, where it lets you untap up to. This one lets you untap up to 7 lands. And Snapcaster Mage is going to let him flash back something from his graveyard. So I'm guessing we're flashing back High Tide
to ramp more mana up.
Yeah.
Because he's doing. Wait, there's more going on here.
Yeah, so we're gonna. Well, he's gonna float 2 blue mana before the Palinchron trigger.
All right.
So that he can gain more mana doing this.
So he gets 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 10, 11. Yeah, 11. Because if he high tides again, he'll gain. Is it doubled or is it? No, it produces 1 additional for high tide, right?
Yeah, 1 additional blue.
So he's gonna have access to almost 11 mana.
So I imagine. Are we casting High Tide again or Turnabout? We might be casting Turnabout again, to be honest with you.
Just to see if he can go further?
Yeah, it depends on, like I said, we're unsure of what's in his hand. Yeah, where's the Storm count, please? I'm missing the Storm count indicator, which is a little frustrating.
Here he goes.
I think this might be something that's actually relevant. We've cast High Tide, Turnabout, Black Lotus, Tooth and Nail, so that's 4.
What did he designate as his Snapcaster target?
Snapcaster targets Turnabout.
Okay, so he's gonna Turnabout.
Yep. So that's what this is right here. This is Turnabout.
Like it could be a whole number of things at this point.
What is untap? Turn down his hand. Yeah. Is
he gonna try like is he like gonna try and high tide his way up?
But he can't here. He has to Turnabout and then untap his lands. That's fine. You can Turnabout. I'm not really that upset by this. I guess part of it is I don't understand what you're doing.
Where is he going?
I mean, okay, so there's Storm count at 5.
Okay, now it's, yeah.
Are we...
10. Upheaval.
Okay.
Alright.
I feel like we might be going for a brain freeze here.
Gush.
Response.
Okay.
Sure.
This is... What is going on here?
I don't understand
Because, I mean, we could just rush out some of our board right as soon as he passes.
Well, no, I don't think where he's passing. I think this is where we get Brain Freezed, or Mind's Desire. Mind's Desire here would also be quite interesting. Yeah, I'm not this is some nature of Storm.
It's weird.
The tooth and nail aspect is very strange. It's not something.
I'm wondering if that's just like he had it, he just got stuck with it, and he's just like, let's see what this does.
I've never seen this particular build, tooth and nailing for Palancron and Snapcaster Mage.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah. It's
Whatever he's gonna do, it worked.
Okay. Like this smells a lot like Mind's Desire.
The clock's ticking.
Indeed, he is 5 minutes below us on the clock, and this is only game 1, so we both dirtled efficiently.
Well, because what Storm card? You mentioned Mind's Desire and Brain Freeze. What
Those
else
are the
is
only
there?
two he really gets without finding a third color. If we find red, we did see Empty the Warrens. There is Tendrils of Agony if he's in black, but we don't.
Yeah, we haven't seen another color out of him
yeah,
yet.
we've only seen blue and green, so that inclines me to believe that his Storm Payload is blue.
Here it comes. He's
Okay, 2 mana.
Nope. Or did he just try and go off and fizzle? That is also a complete snapcast. Targets. You gonna gush again?
That seems inherent. He doesn't have the mana to
No,
gush.
he can't gush. What is he gonna gut? What is he gonna snap?
Snap Tooth and Nail?
Maybe.
You're a couple of mana short for that one, bud.
Unless he's going to make more.
Which is inherently possible. He might have just been doing it for Storm count.
He went to combat.
Yeah, he's passing.
And you've done Storm things before. You know how it feels when it just kind of...
Okay.
So what do we do?
I think we just make this 0-4 wall.
Drop the hammer.
I think once again we just make this 0-4 wall.
Swamp, box, thing in the ice. Here be my ting. And we've got at least one spell to start bringing that down if we need to.
We do.
Combat stab.
You attacking here would be very, very bad, sir. It's blue. I think. Yeah, I think we just Painful Truths here.
And Painful Truth just lets you draw some cards.
It's gonna draw us 2 cards. We're gonna lose 2 life. But it's gonna take a counter off Thing in the Ice. And the show and tell.
That ought to do it.
Why not? We want to live some dreams.
And you've got just hard reanimate. What do we got? What does our opponent want us? You made 2 mana. Signet?
Absolutely,
Okay.
I'm okay with that. Alright, so here's this Underground Sea. I would like to cast Show and Tell.
You may put a thing into play, sir.
I would like to put this hammer called the Promised Land into play. Okay.
Whatevs.
That's fine.
You make 2 tokens. You make 2 plants. I have an Eldrazi.
And I think I'll also make this Delver of Secrets just cuz.
LOL. Here's my board full of flyers.
Yeah, he's got some little plants and stuff.
Except that does nothing, especially if that Delver flips.
Yeah, we're in a pretty good spot here. I feel like.
Delver Secrets.
What did we find?
Scroll Rack.
No, we don't want to reveal Scroll Rack.
Can we make use of Scroll Rack here?
You're ready to the battlefield, so we can't do anything with that. Yeah, I think we could Scroll Rack here.
Scroll Rack for like 2?
I think our first order of business
is someone's getting hit in the face.
is beat with this Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can just make Tassiger again too.
Also,
I don't think there's an inherent need to.
Also, with Scroll Rack, can't we make Delver flip regardless?
2, 3, 4.
Because we draw 2 and put 2
5.
instants and sorceries back.
This is Tassiger the Golden Fang,
Hi, how you doing?
which you knew about. It's your turn. Do I win anyway?
I have a board full of flyers.
Well, I don't have a board full of flyers, but I do have an Emrakul the Promised End. And I'm totally cool with taking 5 from this Avenger of Zendikar because I just crack back and win.
I got it!
Okay. So this is a matchup I actually like the idea of Living Death in.
Just because he's really
he
not...
does play other creatures, so if we just put our things in the bin, dirtle around, and Living Death, that seems pretty interesting.
I think Deluge might also be a valid idea, because a lot of his stuff is small.
I don't know that we have time for Scroll Rack in this matchup, actually. We just get Shackles out. That's not very good. I don't know that we need Deluge, because he does have some small things, but I think that realistically we just want a Living Death.
Yeah.
His little things away. Just set up and Living Death them away. And there's an argument for Deluge, but where do we want Deluge? I don't think we really want Deluge over any of these other cards. Maybe Scroll Rack, but I like the idea of being able to just filter a bunch of cards with Scroll Rack and find what we need.
Yeah.
He gave us plenty of time. I don't know that that's going to be the case every time, but
No.
he did give us quite a bit of time to...
And plus Scroll Rack does give us a Tinker option if we need to.
Correct. Okay.
So what do we got?
I think we can keep this. Like, we don't know that we're under any inherent amount of pressure, so...
Yeah, because like all we saw, the biggest thing we saw at him was the guy that makes a bunch of plants.
Avenger of Zendikar. Yes, sir.
Oh. Well...
That's a pretty good one-drop.
Yep. And now we have Progenitus. Oh.
That's not what we wanted.
No, we could
Ladies
use...
and gentlemen, we don't want those cards in our hand.
We would like I'd like a Brainstorm right about now.
Absolutely.
I'll take Brainstorm for 200. No, I will pay for that. Thank you. He's gonna top.
Yeah, we definitely want Brainstorm right now, or just to stumble into Show and Tell, and Show and Tell in this.
I mean,
That
both
would
are equal.
Also be pretty good.
Both are equally likely.
So now we just...
Remember, don't bury the Blightsteel this time.
Yeah, let's not do that again. Sure.
Activate. Look with top.
Okay. So actually, we're in a pretty good place here because we do have Remand.
And he,
For whatever he plays, we have Remand.
especially if he tries to high tide his way into it. If he tries to do his high tide
I
shenanigans
don't
again.
think we're to that point yet. Those kind of decks usually take a little more time to set up. He doesn't have that many
Yeah.
islands in play. He's just not gonna do anything? Okay. For sure. Can I have this buried alive? Yeah.
Okay, what are we gonna put with buried?
Grizzlebrand. Emrakul.
Is it up to?
Gurmag?
Nah.
There's no sense not to.
I mean, I don't think I wouldn't have put personally. I would not have put. I would have only put 2.
Well, there's no sense not to put the third one. That way, if they have some way to exile individual bits,
Yeah.
like
But
he's in green, there is an option in which a world in which he has a Death
Well,
or a
he-
Shaman.
Okay, so he draws with top.
So he taps out here for Thirst for Knowledge. Okay.
Okay.
That's inherently
Is he gonna
fine.
pitch his top?
It seems like he might.
Yeah, he
does.
did. Interesting.
Are we dead? That's the next interesting question.
Does he-
Are we dead?
Because that's the only world I'd see you pitching your top is where I've got all I need.
Plays island. I don't...
High
Here's
tide.
the high tide.
Here we go. 4.
Sure.
5.
The great thing about this is that if we're not just dead here...
Turnabout.
Sure.
So you're down to 1.
But then he untaps all his lands.
And you get 6 more. 7 with the
7
forest.
with the forest, yeah. So he's got 7 more mana. Puts him
That
to
is
8.
tooth and nail area.
No,
But
I
not
think
entwine.
You need 9 for that?
Yeah, to entwine it.
He
He
makes the
just
Avengers into card.
bust out of
That's
it.
sure. That's okay. I'm inherently fine with this. Because there's a thing that's about to happen where we're going to...
There's a brains. Hey!
but the thing is, we don't want it at this point. We just want to say go, and when he goes to combat, we want to just instant speed makeshift mannequin.
Oh,
Actually,
isn't
we actually, at the end of his turn, want to make this makeshift mannequin, and
how does that card work exactly? Because I'm not familiar.
Yeah, return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield with a mannequin counter on it. For as long as it has a mannequin counter on it, has when it becomes a target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it.
It makes it an illusion, basically.
Sort of, yeah.
It has
but the thing is, I think we just want to reanimate this Grizzlebrand at the end of his turn. Let him do whatever he feels he needs to do, and then just make Grizzlebrand. So we're taking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here, which is a lot.
But with as hard as our deck can hit back, who cares?
We're hoping he just starts tapping out for things again. Makeshift mannequin, targeting Grizzlebrand.
Mannequin?
Ayazkan has?
I'm assuming he's probably reading it. He's like, what? All right. And now I have a 7/7 flying lifelink illusion.
That's a Blightsteel Colossus we don't really want in our hand.
Could we brainstorm here?
It's plausible. I think my first and foremost plan is just crashing with this Grizzlebrand, gain some life.
Bop. Do we want to try gaining it? Do we want to gain any or use anything?
4. So
Do we want to rip some cards or probably not?
I think let's brainstorm here actually.
Because if we can find an island, yeah.
So we want to put back Blightsteel Colossus and Progenitus. We want to play this Underground Sea for turn.
This just got interesting.
Cast. Oh, apparently we played a land for turn already. Okay.
Uh-oh. Well, we can just use the Mox anyway.
We can. And we want to tinker.
Tinker?
This Mox.
We definitely got an interesting deck out of
You want to
this.
let me do all the things? I'm cool with doing all of the things.
Here's Blightsteel.
And then
Hello.
Blightsteel Colossus. And then it's on to you.
Please hit me back. I dare you.
There was a world there in which what we should have done is also make Tassiger, just to kind of soak up some damage, but I don't think that we're actually that scared.
No, because we just get... Yeah, because we still got Grizzy, which he can do a lot right now as well. Like, maybe
if he goes for, like, an upheaval here, because we did see that out of him last game, if he does go for an upheaval here, we just draw some cards with Grizzlebrand.
It would have to be Snapcaster into High Tide to start that upheaval process.
More than likely.
And we have a remand. We could just stop him from doing that.
Except we don't have blue mana right now.
Fair enough.
Which is why I wanted to play the Underground Sea, but we had already played our land for turn. So,
it's all in our
when you're going to draw some kids, or draw some cards, kids, always remember that you want to wait to play your land until you do. So we've got like this
yeah.
Avenger doesn't get through.
The tokens
he swings for 8.
That's not that bad.
That's okay because we just kill him on the crackback, basically.
I don't think he's gonna swing. I think a smart guy would not swing at this.
I mean, well, let's see.
That's what I figured.
I feel like I want to draw 7 cards at his end of his turn.
Tutor, corpse dance, thinking yet. Like,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is where we're just in a really, really good position. Play this.
I think we
I think we can corpse dance for Emrakul here.
That would be hilarious. I'm wondering if he's. Hey Hex, how's it going? Sorry I missed you there.
Corpse dance.
How's it going, my man?
We can crash in for actually lethal right now.
We have a good time.
We have a counter spell. So, and there's an interesting world in which we play this, right? Where we swing for all of this damage.
What is he? Snapcaster targets.
Okay. What are you thinking, man? What are you thinking?
Possibly High Tide?
It might be turn
Do
tap or tap all untapped and untap all tapped. So I think he's going for turnabout here. And when he puts turnabout on the stack, we can just remand.
Yeah.
And then hold on. I need to remember how to do that.
Doing pretty well, Hex. Adam here's my roommate. He just came, he just walked in the room and said, "Hey, you want to stream a vintage cube?" I'm like, "Yeah, screw it, why not?" Get magic on the channel's database of things I play. Though I play more paper than Mitgo.
Okay. So he's gonna put this on the stack.
And he targeted turnabout?
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna move phases here, and you're gonna lose all your mana?
That'd be hilarious. That'd be great.
So we're gonna cast this remand.
And you're gonna look like a fool. Because you ain't gonna get it.
And in response to the remand, we're gonna cast this Mystical Tutor.
And I'm taking you're gonna go get a
We're gonna Mystical Tutor for Force of Will?
Just go get another counter spell on top of. Oh, that's right. Puts it in her hand. I'm thinking the other one. That's great. Blah! Flying, infect. Got something? You also did enough to trigger a storm count, apparently.
Oh, well, part of it's him, because he cast Snapcaster Mage for Turnabout.
You have no mana, you have a bunch of dudes, and you have lethal going overhead as it is.
And you are aware that there is a Force of Will in my hand.
Fight me!
We did it!
Come on, dude.
We did it!
Come on, dude. That's just kind of GG.
That is most certainly GG. But it's on our opponent to make that decision.
We'll make a minor adjustment to this just a little bit.
Go right ahead.
Just because I'm like on the very edge of the frame. Let me see how it.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah,
on
like
quite a delay.
Oh, it is. Oh, now I've got you.
It's all right.
Yeah,
it's not a huge issue.
I know. I just kind of wanted to have OCD kicking in where I wanted us to each be equal parts on the screen. Here I am getting.
You're dead to the Flyers.
Let him do it. At least he's still moving. We're not sitting here and he's gonna time out.
I like it.
Fuck it, you win. It's all yours.
Block all this Blightsteel.
Oh now wait, there's a flyer.
All right.
So that was our first win.
Yep. So we are 1-1 in this league right now. I mean, we hope for a little better, but we kind of drafted a pile of nonsense. So
we made blue-black reanimator. What else do you want?
And not even good reanimator. Like we picked all the weird reanimation spells because we got into it real late. But,
Yeah.
I think we panned out all right.
I mean, we started off with Force a Will.
Yeah, pack one, pick one, force a will. That's what you want to do. You look at all the cards in the deck and go, well, I know I'm playing blue because it's Vintage Cube, so we take force of will.
Let me borrow the mouse for just a second so I can see. 'Cause I love it when it does this. There's one other person hiding around.
All right, so.
Yeah, I love it how Twitch. It's like you start it up and like until the stream is actually like 5 minutes in, you can't actually see if there's anybody watching other than you.
Right. So we're gonna go to our third match of this league. Once again, that is a Magic Online Vintage Cube Draft League. The difference between a league and a normal event being that you don't play with the people that were in your draft pool, which means that someone else can have the exact same cards that you do.
Or better, like our loss where we saw 3 silly planeswalkers.
Yes, our opponent who had decided to play Living Death for value. All right, we lost the die roll, which is not how we want to live our life, but it happens.
It's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, I think that's Christmas.
I think that's as good as it gets.
Both of our colors, and a berry, and a reanimation spell, plus fish. Plus Gurmag
Okay.
Angler. I think we got this one.
Well,
but
we're running into an inherent problem though, where we're getting all the reanimator targets in our hand.
Yeah, that's not great. But I mean, we've reanimated everybody but Progenitus. I think if we get the chance, it should be that beautiful beast turn in the spotlight. And there's an Underground Sea. That's all of our mana. That's all the mana we could ever want for.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just getting like everything. Get everything.
I think at this point we just go for the Buried Alive, and that way if they counter it,
we can just nope.
It's just a non-issue. So we
don't put Blightsteel in there.
Emrakul, Progenitus.
And we can't. I think that's just it.
Yeah,
I don't think we want to put Thing in the Ice in there, and and we're not doing the Blightsteel punt again.
I mean, there wouldn't be any reason not to at this point, because we can't...
Actually, did Progenitus also have the Shuffle Clause?
It did, but that's okay.
I was about to say, did we just goof again? We picked, like, I mean, we got a Shuffle trigger, right? And then we draw a Fetch land.
So I think what we want to do here is just... dome ourselves for 1 billion, kids. We want to reanimate this Emrakul. And then I want to crack this fetch land, putting us down to like 0 life. And grab another island. And 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6.
You can just play Tasigur.
You want to bring Tasigur in? Let's play. Say hello to Mr. Golden Fang himself. How's he doing? Oh, what is that? Was that just turn 2 or turn 3? It was turn 4.
Turn 4.
Just that, like, that's about as good as it gets in this. Reflector. Oh.
Yeah, I mean that's what you sign yourself up for, man. You
Reflector.
put that back in my
Reflector
hand?
Mage
Okay,
targeting.
that's fine.
Land tax. How does that work again? Oh, well, that does nothing for the moment.
We may be experiencing a Magic Online crash.
Oh.
Nope. I think we've figured it out.
No, I think we just
Your
had
opponent controls more lands than you.
I think we just had a jitter in general.
Okay. I don't think there's a reason for us to play... Yeah, I think we can just play land. It's not really going to hurt us. So what I think we're going to do here is play this land and swing with Tasigur. And then we can...
Yeah, that Reflector Mage kind of hurt.
It's definitely not awful, though.
No, because we could just do it again. We have We have we have more reanimation spells, and we have an Entomb in hand. All we need
we
to,
have
like,
Entomb in hand.
Unfortunately,
and all we really need to find is Brainstorm. The other interesting thing is we can just activate Tassiger as well, which is what I think I want to do here. Just activate a Tassiger and figure out what's.
So we're playing back. We're doing the back and forth deal.
Well, but the thing is, he's much better set up in that particular situation.
I mean, we kind of put ourselves there, though.
We want to activate Tassiger. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we can.
Can we take his Reflector Mage?
We certainly can.
I think that's probably what we do, because we're kind of in a pinch.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We could also bring in Fish as well, because we have the delve for it.
Oh, we can delve 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Or did I do math wrong?
I think what I actually want to do here is try to cast Vidalcan Shackles.
Use Vidalcan Shackles. I would like your Reflector Mage, sir. Alright, catch you later, Hex. He always pops in for just a little bit.
Right.
But I appreciate it nonetheless. Oh! Resto!
Resto, you say. And I think we actually lose here.
Oh.
Because he flickers this, returns Tassiger to our hand.
And we're 1 mana off doing the remand.
Yep.
Ah!
So we put ourselves in a little too much danger there by reanimating a 13/13.
So note to self, let's not do that again.
So what do we want here? This looks like a creature deck, so I do actually want this Living Death. I just want to blow up all their creatures and get mine back. Is this a matchup where I think we just keep Force of Will because sometimes we just have to. And I think that's about it. Yeah, I think this is inherently fine. Linvala's interesting here as an optional reanimator target.
Yeah, because we are versing someone that's playing Resto.
Yeah. We can bring Linvala in here. Well, and because it's also going to gain us some life if they've got more life than we do. So it does some interesting things here. I think we bring in Linvala, and I think we just cut the vanilla creature in Gurmag Angler.
Yeah, as good as
it's great that it's got Delve, but it's not really
It's not enough here. Yeah, it's not enough. Plus, if we show and tell and they go Resto, we can... Or is that cast? For
sure.
Restoration Angel.
Hey, so there's Entomb, and Buried Alive, and Thing in the Ice.
And your 2 reanimation targets in your hand again.
I mean, but I think that's the life we live sometimes.
Okay.
So I think we want to turn 1 island. Yeah. Yep. We probably should have played the swamp there.
Turn one island concede. Wait, what? Plains? Swamp.
Thing Ice. And then we let them do what they want to do. We have the option to then next turn Buried Alive and put our reanimation targets into the graveyard.
Demur Signet. So he's, solid 3 color.
He's 3 color, which is inherently fine for us. So yeah, I think now that the coast is inherently clear.
Hi there, Madness Pirate. How are you doing? You a new fellow around here?
We put in Linvala and Tasker.
So where are we at?
And it's just those 2 because the rest of it's going to shuffle. So we'll just do that.
Oh, it's Jimmy. That's who it is.
Oh, what up, Jimmy?
I was like, oh, and Madness Pirate has entered the arena. Thank you very much, Jimmy, for the following.
Jimmy, we decided to play Broken Things. How do you feel about it? Look at my hand. There is some spaghetti up in here just for you.
We got the fun spaghetti, too.
Solemn Simulacrum.
Sad robot.
I'm inherently fine with this.
Oh, did the link not work properly or something?
I'm not sure. I posted it on my Facebook. So people had the opportunity to know what was going on here. And
you could really use
that's fine.
You could really use a brain.
I really want Brainstorm here. grab this Marsh Flats. I'm actually going to do something inherently unintuitive at the end of my opponent's next turn, where I'm going to actually cast Entomb, even though all of the rest of my targets will shuffle, other than Delver of Secrets. And the reason for that being that I want to try to start removing some counters from Thing in the Ice.
I think both of that is correct. You both live and love by the life of spaghetti.
You
oh,
are
wall of
all
omens.
about that spaghetti. Sure, you have a wall, sir. I'm okay with this logic. And you're gonna tap some more mana.
Oh.
That's okay. You can lose 3 life to draw some cards. I'm inherently fine with this.
So we're both kind of playing the same vein to a degree, it seems.
I'm actually just gonna crack this now.
Because life advantage.
And we're gonna grab our own Underground Sea. And then I want to...
Entomb. Just to remove a counter off a thing.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the plan here is like, if we find the brainstorm away our two dudes that can be reanimated.
Okay, so we actually have the option here to... You shuffle...
Does the angel shuffle?
She's already in there.
Okay, she's already in the bin.
I think we just put Progenitors in there and let it happen. Okay. This is where we got our brainstorm we wanted.
Oh, nice. 2 problems with that, Jimmy. 1, Adam can't have spaghetti, and 2, I don't have any around the house. Otherwise, I probably would.
Put these 2 back.
Aha! And you could...
I can Corpse Dance with buyback.
Ooh!
1, 2... No, I'm sorry. I cannot Corpse Dance with buyback because we have already cast put our land for the turn.
I mean, we just wait. There's no real pressure in front of us, and we're gonna flip the...
Yeah, I
Ooh,
think
how is that gonna go? Yeah, it's gonna flip first.
Correct.
It's gonna flip, then the corpse jack is gonna... the corpse dance is
what
gonna
do we
go
actually want here? Do we want...
I say we bring Angel.
I think we just bring in Linvala and start beating on him.
It's just like, hi Sarkin, how you doing? How do you... Or, Soren.
Yeah.
Sarkin, Soren, Master Edgelords.
Mere Paw. That's apparently what the name our opponent has chosen. So...
If it was a Y instead of an I,
next
I'd
turn we can Corpse Dance with buyback, which seems really...
Like, that seems like a war where we
strong.
just start getting pay dirt. Because it's just like, do it again.
What
do
is
it again.
he?
Oh, what? Who are you?
Yeah. That's...
Does he turn... He turns into a rat
Exile
wizard.
target card from an opponent's graveyard. If no cards are in the graveyard, flip it. Okay, so actually what we do is we wait for him to activate, and then in response, we Corpse Dance that... I imagine he's going to pick Linvala here.
Oh, he has a Urborg Tube of Yawgmoth. Nice. Yep, there goes.
You've chosen Linvala. Okay.
You're going to have to
So
respond.
I'm going to, in response, Corpse Dance?
Can't do the buyback right now, which kind of sucks, but gotta do what you gotta do. And you don't get to spin your guy around. How do you feel, sir? Now, is Corpse Dance just till the end of turn?
Yeah, unfortunately, Linvala gains haste on a turn that it doesn't matter.
Declaration in Stone. Huh? Oh.
He gives us a clue, and so now we've just reset both board states.
I mean, I think we're in a better position with that.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think actually what I want to do here is make this scroll rack.
Could you use the clue token here as well to draw a card?
I can, and I think that I do that on my opponent's turn.
Just draw a card, scroll rack if you need to, potentially get back into another way to do something. There's the Rat Lord again.
Okay. What do we want to exile this time? Tassiger? That's sure. Okay.
Whatevs. You need 2 more lands to do Grizzlebrand.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we do.
Or you need a land and a Mox.
Which is actually doable. Wait for him to do a thing.
There's the wall moment, so he's trying to rebuild.
I'm gonna draw a card in response here. Oh, we have swamps. I keep forgetting we have a pile of swamps right now.
Oh.
That's not what we wanted inherently.
And what do you got in the bin right now?
Pay 1.
Let's say I would have done a bin check real quick, but... Hey! Mox in a land.
Now let's just hope we did that in the correct order.
Well, we could have cast Grizzlebrand now. Oh!
And we did.
Cannot plan
Ladies
that.
and gentlemen.
Hey, all we need is Grizzlebrand back. Oh shit, there he is. How would you like to say hi? Bop.
We have all the black mana we could possibly want.
Just don't miss tap.
7, 8, Grizzlebrand?
Grizzlebrand!
Do I win?
Huzzah!
Do I win?
I have lifelink and I can rip 7 on a whim. Now, are you gonna rip if he doesn't do anything? Are you gonna rip 7 on his turn?
It's quite possible.
Oh, hold up.
I'm gonna wait real quick to see what this.
Oh, he's just going after your bin again.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm not really looking for anything in my graveyard at this point. I wouldn't mind finding Tinker. Tinker would be inherently fine, just because I can.
I mean, we're playing
draw 7 cards in response.
We are playing a vintage cube right now, but.
Woof.
Oh.
But that's just inherently fine because we
just got Tinker into. We have Tinker, Mox, Skull Rack, and Blood.
Sure, and we're not dead yet.
We can just put it back. He's gonna go after our bin again.
Yeah.
So he's trying to end the reanimation. Little does he know we're not done.
Yeah, there's a Blight Steel here too, bub.
And he too has a Sapphire.
Yeah, seems good. So you're attacking me with a 2/1. So I'm gonna take some damage here, which is inherently fine.
Yeah, but I mean we're about to bring a Haymaker back.
Okay.
What do we draw? Does this get even better?
Okay.
Just more land.
So what I actually want to do here, real quick. So I've got land, I've got instant, I've got just lands and instants in my graveyard right now. So Emrakul still costs way too much mana. However, I do want to activate this scroll rack.
Okay.
In 1.
I mean, we could.
So
but I think it'd be too expensive.
I want to put back this Blightsteel. I want to put back this Emrakul. I'll put back a couple of lands that I don't need.
Yeah. So...
Okay. This is how many I want.
Is it being... Okay, there we go.
Okay, there we go. It doesn't actually matter what order. So I do want to first cast this Delver Secrets.
Here you go. And then we're gonna
away.
Do we want to
this scroll rack?
Yeah, because we want to keep our mana for now.
This Blightsteel Colossus.
Hello, how you doing?
Okay.
I like how this is like this was on a whim, and we've wound up with a deck where we get to play both fat things and blue cards in the same deck.
Yeah, I mean,
we kind of got a perfect blend.
You got it, champ. I'm not getting this Tinker back.
And
or the scroll rack. You know, I'm okay with that one too.
I think he's just trying to push his guy to flip.
I mean, I think that's kind of what he has to do.
So what else we got? So filters, more. There's a lot of mana floating around.
Solemn Simulacrum.
Okay. Now, if you get an Entomb spell, you can do, or you have a bin ability. You can put something in the bin and then makeshift macabre it, or mannequin it right out of the bat.
Makeshift mannequin at instant speed. Yes, I can. I think all of our threats are gone though. I think he has exiled all of our threats.
But
Linvala, Thing in the Ice, Tassiger, Grizzlebrand.
But you can do Progenitus and at instant speed put him on the field.
That is inherently the case.
You can do it at instant speed.
Are we gonna flip a Delver Secrets here? Reanimate. Let's reveal this reanimate.
We can't do that, but well, shit.
So here's this island.
I don't think we're gonna pay 20 for that. I don't think we're gonna pay 20 life for that.
So here's the inherent issue. Can we crack in
and live?
Yeah. Can we crack in here and live?
Well, the problem is he's just gonna hit us with Geist back.
I think we have to swing with Blightsteel.
Just to make him block.
Yeah, just to...
But I think it's gonna be just the wall, and then he's gonna just crack back. Yep. Oh.
Yeah, because he still takes a lot of infect if he doesn't do it in it. So he takes 5 infect here.
And then that leaves...
Solemn lets him draw
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So the thing is, we can take 6 from Geist. That's not an actual issue. We just can't take 6 from Geist and from Nezumi Robber.
So he's going...
And the thing is that he's actually in a place where I don't think he's turning Nezumi Robber on.
No, and that's probably for the better.
So I don't know that he can actually attack right now. But you need combat step. Sure.
Just Geist?
Well, and then he makes the 4/4 Angel.
Are you just gonna block?
I think I'm gonna take 6, to be honest with you. Because at this point, I'm not dead to this at this point, and I don't want to set myself up
in case he does something like, well, who knows what. He's got all the removal colors right now for the most part.
Yeah, he's got enough stuff that I'm...
Exile token.
Are we gonna resto the token? That's pretty... Oh, you can't resto tokens.
Yeah, Jimmy was asking about constructive.
Yes, Jimmy.
It's not that we can't. It's that we can't afford it.
Vintage is actually surprisingly affordable on Magic Online, comparatively to paper.
Yeah,
so at paper Vintage, you're paying $20,000. But with Vintage on Magic Online, you're actually not. It's usually sub $1,000 from what I understand.
That doesn't sound miserable, but that's a lot of people, and it's of course part of our world. A lot of people would look at that and go, "I'm gonna put $1,000 into a game online that I don't own physical things to."
So if we crack in with Blightsteel, he has to block with both creatures,
or dies.
Is required to.
And then when he cracks back, you're just gonna block with. You're gonna block,
the angel with Delver. And I think we just win.
Yeah, it'd be a question that I'm assuming Adam would know more about it than I would, because, like I said, this is the first time I've actually turned this on my computer.
Actually playing Constructed Vintage on Magic Online is surprisingly cheap. We have been Mystic Confluenced. I think we actually die here. He has way more than enough damage. We don't have anything to bin. We can reanimate.
2, 3, 8. Play a land and just recast Blightsteel?
Already played land for turn.
Oh, you did?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, you're one
And
shy.
he's a, yeah.
Well, shit.
Almost, but not quite.
And that's all there is.
So, that's this one. We went 1 and 2 with a pile of absolute nonsense.
Oh well. I mean, not everyone's a gem.
We're gonna go to a quick break, and then we might be back.
You want to do it? You want
Question mark?
Maybe want to do another one?
I mean, there's definitely a possibility. So, give us just a minute, and we will
I'll check that. Yeah.
we will return for more shenanigans.
Yeah. Click on the OBS. Just.